channel. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. My name is Emily and I'm from the northern Indiana area, and I have been married for 12 years, together for 13, and we have 4 kids. You've probably seen them in previous videos if you've watched any of those. Plus we have a vlogging channel, so I'll link that in the iCard. Check that out and down below. Yeah, I graduated high school in the summer of 2004, and my husband and I met the November of 2004. We got married December 18th of 2005. We got pregnant for the first time in 2007. Unfortunately, we lost that baby when I was 20 weeks pregnant. Her name is Lillian Elizabeth. Then the doctor told me I had to wait at least 6 months to try to get pregnant again. And so right about the 6-month mark is when I found out I was pregnant with our oldest son, Miles. That pregnancy went fine. They, did a lot of tests and a lot of, just different things, and they kept an eye on me pretty well. And I got ultrasounds done a lot. And when I was 36 weeks pregnant, I had a really bad headache, and the doctor, and I just wasn't feeling like myself. The doctor told me to go ahead and come in. He would check me out. Well, I got there and my blood pressure was sky high. So they had sent me to the hospital, and they did some tests, and they were like, well, this might be early signs of preeclampsia, but we don't know yet. All the other tests came back fine. We were just waiting on one more test, and you'll probably get sent home with just some medication. They received the results from the last test, and no, I had to have the baby right away. So they started doing induction, and I was in labor for about 25 hours with Miles. He was 5 pounds, and because I had preeclampsia and they had to give me all sorts of medication to keep me alive, when he was born, he was super limp and wasn't doing very well, so they rushed him to the NICU, and he was in the NICU for about a week after he was born. But now he's a big, healthy 9-year-old boy who loves YouTube and wants to be a YouTuber. Then when he was about a year and a half old, we moved to North Carolina because my husband had got laid off from his job, and he had a friend in North Carolina and got him a job. We didn't live there very long, and I wasn't happy there. I could have been happy there. North Carolina was amazing, but I was young and I thought I needed my family and friends, and I do. But now that I'm older, I've realized that they're not always there when you need them. So we moved back home a few months later. We struggled a while to get a job and get back on our feet. We finally did move into our own house, and then when Miles was 3, Miles was about 2.5, we got pregnant with Isaac. And I had gestational diabetes with him, and I managed that just with healthy eating. And his labor, I started having contractions at home, and I had contractions for a while before that, and so I just kind of let it go. I did dishes and did some stuff around the house just to get my mind off of them. And then around 10 o'clock, I went to use the restroom, and I noticed there was a lot of blood. Not a lot, but enough to make a pregnant woman super nervous. So I called the doctor, and he said, come in. So I went in, and about he was born at 1:11 in the morning. So from I got to the hospital 11, and he was born at 1:11 in the morning. And super easy, natural labor. No medication, nothing. And then a few months after that, we accidentally got pregnant. And yes, I know accidentally sounds stupid because you know how to get pregnant. Anyway, and unfortunately that ended up in a tubal pregnancy. So I had to get medication to get the baby to miscarry on its own. Then we finally, in 2012, November of 2012, when Isaac turned 1, we moved into our house and bought a home. And right after that, I was found out I was pregnant with Lydia. And I prayed and prayed that she was going to be a girl. And I actually paid for a special ultrasound in a different town than I live in to see early if she was a girl. And it was funny because when we went to the ultrasound, we took the boys with us, and I said, Miles, you're having a sissy. And he's like, yeah, I know. All along he knew he was having a sister, and it was super cute. Her pregnancy was, well, I had no complications, nothing. And then at the end, right at my due date, he decided that he wanted to induce me. We went in on, I believe, my due date or the day before, I don't know. And yeah, I don't know. And she decided she wasn't coming. She was not coming out. They tried to induce me. It didn't work, so they sent me home. I was so sad. But that's okay. A few days later, I went into labor all by myself. And I went into labor all by myself. I was kind of having contractions, started having contractions at home. I got the kids around. I called my sister-in-law who lived next door, and I was like, I think this is the real thing. Can you come get the kids? So she came and got the kids. We drove to the hospital, and the contractions kind of slowed down. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not in labor. Well, then we got to the hospital, and they were getting ready to give me an epidural, and right as they were trying to give me the epidural, my water had broke on the bed, and I was like, I have to push. And they're like, no. I said, no, yeah, I have to push. And so they laid me down, and sure enough, she was ready to come out. So I didn't get an epidural with her either, and she was born about within 2 hours. And then after that, I was getting ready to get on birth control. I was getting ready to go to the doctor, and I found out I was pregnant with Maisie. I cried. He cried. I didn't even tell anybody for the first 3 months. I wanted 3 kids. I didn't want any more kids. I had my 2 boys and my girl, and I was satisfied with that. But after we started telling people, and we were getting excited, and I found out it was a girl, and Maisie is the sweetest little girl in the world. Her pregnancy went great. I was induced with her because at the time I had 3 young children, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do if I just went into labor. So the doctor agreed to go. At this time, my mom had already moved to Florida, and I was like, I don't know who's gonna watch these kids if I just go into labor by myself. And so the doctor agreed and went ahead and induced me. And Miles was born on November 11th of 2008. Isaac was born on November 30th in 2011. Lydia was born on August 12th of 2013, and Maisie was born December 9th of 2014.